Good morning. Doing something different today. Silver plated pot. Found it at Goodwill. I think it was like $3.99. And this cute little picture. It had a design on it, otherwise it was white. But I painted them both. First I used some Kills the white. I did 2 coats of that, and then I did 2 coats. This Junk Monkey, I wanted the vintage white. I'm doing black and white stripes on here, and then I'll put some kind of flower transfer. So I wanted a nice white, a brilliant white, you know, it'll stand out more than like an antique white. Then I'll use the black velvet for the stripes. First thing I'm going to do is tape the stripes on. So you find your center on the piece. I'm going by my handle, and I'm starting right across from the handle. Now what I do is I take just a little piece of tape. This is my guide. It's hard, it's rounded, so you're not going to get it to lay down perfect, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. This is a craft you're making. Make it your way. But that lets me put my next piece of tape in the right spot. See, curves are hard because you still want to go straight around. So even with using this piece, you have to just kind of use it like the one section of it. You can't go by the whole piece because this is curved, and it will by default go longer at the top, and it'll come in the bottom. So use this as a guide, but you still want to get that tape straight. Get as much as you can to stick down. It is not easy to get it to stick down on curves. Find your point. It's laying over this one a little bit, but that's okay. It's curved, and I need that. Yeah, I want my stripes to be about the same width. And you see I've matched up like a middle point here to help me get a straight line. I'm going to need to start pulling my hair back. This is going to be the hard part. Trying to... Nope, that's not going to work. Get down next to this guy. I'm going to go in the middle here. And just kind of go down. For right now, I'm just going to put him up there. May have a little more color back here, but that's all right. My main design is going to be up here I'm not too worried about a little extra color. I'm going to start this side. I think I had that one off a little too much. This is just that frog green painter's tape. It comes from real thin to real big. So, yeah, you can do a variety of things. When I do checks, I use this. I tape it off. And I'll show you how the checks work. Maybe tomorrow I have to have a piece that I can do the checks on. And it's just a two-step process. And you can use a ruler and make your lines. I use the tape. I find it easier for me. That's just what works for me. You have to find what works for you. That's part of the game. Part of crafting. Gotta get them straight. No, don't stick. There we go. I tell you, there are so many ideas, so many possibilities out there. It's amazing. Now this is, starting to round more. So he's going to be a little more crooked. Whoops. Pull them under out of the way so they don't catch on anything. Make sure they're tight up there. This one will be much easier. It doesn't have the curves like that one does. I'm going to use the spout as my starting point and go right up against him. I pulled way too much that time. This way so you can see going down over the side. That's why I just continue, placing that one straight because this doesn't have the curves. It curves, but it doesn't have the up and down like this one does. This is what makes it harder. There's all those curves there. That's pretty close. And we're just going to continue around. I was thinking I might do pink and white on this one. Something different. Doesn't always have to be black and white. You can use a different base. I mean, you could have maybe done a whole light blue on this, and then laid your tape out and did a gray. Maybe you have a backyard where you have like a lot of sports themed things. You can do the team colors, the school colors, whatever colors you want. That's one of the nice things about doing this. And you can find them cheap all over the place. Thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Army, yard sales. This time of year where I'm at, there are yard sales Friday and Saturday every weekend somewhere. You just have to get in the car and drive and you'll see where they're at. And that's about the same there. Okay. You want it as flat as possible so that the paint doesn't go under when you paint. So I just took that tape down. Some spots, like here where the handle is, I'm not going to get that effect. I'll just have to be very careful when I paint there. Your bottoms, they're notorious for that. So definitely check your bottoms and roll it under. I don't want it sticking. With the curves, it is much harder. Your tape is not going to stick because you don't have a flat surface. You can take a pencil and do a line if you want, using the tape as your guide. Or you just very carefully go around and where it goes under. You paint over it with your white. You'll be able to cover it up. Now if you want, thicker lines, but you want your middle, like in here, to be shorter distance, use a thinner tape to make your lines. It just gives you that same line size all the way around. And that's what you want. Get my brush. Do I want that one or that one? Oh, I guess this one it is. This is the Junk Monkey Black Velvet. My lid doesn't stay on anymore. Let me move that. Let's put the tape away. Let's start on this guy. And I'm just going to use, the lines as my guide for where I'm going to put my black paint. On the flatter surfaces, like up to here, I know I'm safe. The tape is stuck down. When I get closer, I'll have to leave that go. That brush is leaving lines and I don't like that. I'm not sure why. So let's just switch brushes here. One's nice and soft. Okay. Oh, see, that's better. Something must have got on that brush because it was leaving lines across. So we'll do this one, the black and white. And I'm going to do the picture with the pink. Make it a little more feminine for in a kitchen or maybe a dining room or something. As I go around, I'll check each piece of tape and make sure it's tight. That piece right there is not. That's just a little corner. There we go. So just lift it up, use your fingernail, tuck it in place, and then you're on your way. Now where I leave the white stripes, after I take the tape off, I will go around and get the rest of the top and the rest of the bottom so that they're both black. You don't have to do that. That's just what I like. That's all. You gotta do what you like. If you use a poly sealant on this, it's a water-based poly sealant. All your local stores have it. You can put it outside as long as it's sealed. I have pieces outside, and I bring them every spring. I bring them back in, and I seal them. A couple of them are just old one's like a big old rusty bird seed holder. It's huge. Some company had made it, probably as a promotion, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on it. I didn't paint it. I would never paint it. I like it the way it is. But every spring I bring it in before I take it out, and I put a sealant on it to coat it to prevent the rust from spreading or getting worse. I do 2 coats. This is my 3rd year with it, and it still looks good. It hasn't rusted any more than when I first got it. No, I don't use it as bird seed holder. It's rusted. I just use it as a fun picnic table piece. It sits on my picnic table every year. At the bottom has, the curved up bowl shape. That's where they put the seed. So every time it rains, I gotta go out and empty it. If I don't, the water will just sit in there, and I don't want that. I know I can drill a hole in the bottom. I'm just afraid, because of the age, to drill anything into it. Kind of scares me. So I just, as soon as it's done raining, I got a little black on the handle, but that's all right. I'm probably going to do the handle black. And maybe stripes up the spout. I don't know yet. I want to see how the black and white looks, and then I'll go from there. See what I like or don't like. A lot of times I don't have a plan. Yeah, I just go in and start painting. That one wasn't quite down all the way. You can do a lot with the tape. Like I said, you can do the checkers, And it's just a matter of doing your first line with the blocks, let dry, and then you choose your tape and you cover, with the stripes, all of the blocks that are on there, and then you start painting again, and it gives you that checked look. You can do the Harlequin look. Now that I haven't tried yet. It's a little more complicated, but I'll get there. Something different every week I'm trying to do. I'd never decoupaged really before. Maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I don't know, maybe a little longer than that, but it's still kind of new to me. I'm learning some of the tricks and some of the things you can do. I'm learning how you can put the one piece of decoupage down and then cut other pieces out of other sheets and blend them together. It's been fun learning. I have 2 booths, and then I have an Etsy site. So that's where all this stuff goes. If you're watching on YouTube and you see the subscribe button, go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna keep putting videos up. I'm gonna go live, and then I'll share those on that. I have been building my courage up. I was, when my boys were little, they were all in Boy Scouts, all 3 of them. They needed a committee chairman. Nobody had stepped up to the plate. I said yes. I figured it's all behind the scenes. It's about, making arrangements for whatever projects are going on, that type of thing. What I didn't know was that the committee chair was also expected to talk, the once-a-month scout meeting where all the troops come. I couldn't do it. I was so nervous. What came out was, and then I would talk low. The guys that ran the actual dens understood I was just too nervous. I am not a stand in a crowd kind of person. So I am learning to do lives. Doing this gives me a chance to learn to talk and video and put it up. So it's just kind of helping me get over this fear of talking to a group of people live. That's just, I never had to do it. When I was in college, and I didn't finish, I was halfway through. I had 4 kids when I started, and it was just getting to be a lot. And what I had started as my major was, what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. So halfway through, I dropped out. I thought, all right, take a year off, figure out what degree you want, because at that point I was a social major. My thoughts were working with adoptions, foster kids, placement, that type of thing. And I went and did some interviews with them, and learned about what they do, and I was good until I went to one place, and it is a Christian run, which is fine, but just me, I thought, you know what, if you have a Jewish child, a Muslim child come in, they need to go to somebody who shares the same faith. Race isn't a factor here, it's just the faith. If this is what they're used to and this is how they've been raised, I think they deserve the right to finish being raised that way. As an adult, if they want to change, that's their choice then. But they're already going through a lot with losing their family, going someplace, people they don't know. And if they are already a church-going, faith-based person, I don't see taking that away from them. That may be the only thing that's helping them at this moment. And if you take that away too, and try and tell them they have to be a different religion, your religion, I didn't think that was right. My thought was you place a child in the best, closest situation to their belief systems and their history. And I was afraid I couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't do the social worker end of it. My heart would get involved in every single case, I guarantee it. I don't think I could walk in somewhere and say, well, you're going to start counseling and we're going to keep an eye on you, but we're leaving this child that you hurt with you. Nope. Couldn't do it. My heart would get involved, I guarantee it. So I kind of backed down. I loved philosophy. Oh, that was a blast. But what would I do with it? Be a teacher? I can't talk in front of a classroom. I can't be a teacher. And that's about all, you could do with a degree in philosophy. I mean, I know you can write books and stuff, but... So I ended up dropping out. So I never got or had to take that speech class. I was saving that till the end. That was going to be my last class. In hopes that as I did all the other classes, and they have you get up and talk about a paper or something a little bit, my hope was I would start to feel a little more comfortable so that when it was time for speech, I would at least feel like I could, do what I needed to do. So I ended up, as I said, leaving. I was honor roll. I was Dean's List the entire time with 4 kids, a husband, and a part-time job. I was very proud of myself. I wish I had finished. I wanted to finish. You get to that point where your credits don't matter anymore. And I got to that point. Now I'm retired now, and I would like to take some creative writing, literature, classes like that. So I have been looking into it. I'm not sure that I want to try and find a degree at this point, not with being retired. But I do write, and I have a couple books on Amazon. But I would love to learn more and write better. So I have been looking at some writing classes. More in the lines of creative writing. Alright, that one I have to just try and come down as close to the foot as I can. Because the tape is actually on the foot. There we go. And here's another where everything's sticking up. Press it down quick, get the paint over it before it pops back up. It's going to pop back up because of the curve. And I'm sure you noticed by now, I am sitting here talking. I was going to try pink on this one. I just grabbed it and started going. So maybe I'll do some pink in between these black lines. I'll let the black dry, and then I'll do some pink. Pink and black looks good together. I just did a piece, a chest I had. It's got pink stripes, and pink and white stripes. The chest had an inlay area, so I did that all in black, and I put my transfer papers in there. But the pink and black look really good together. I really like it. So I think I want to do a couple more, of the pink and black. I'm just going down underneath. And around the edges. That's one of the pieces of tape I could not get to stick down. You see it's right. So I'm going to get as close as what I think is right. And see, I could do the handle in the pink. And maybe do the spout in the pink. Right, I'm trying to just kind of match up where that line goes. And there's going to be some paint that's going to go under the tape where it lifted. But it's not a problem. It's real easy to, after it's dry, cover it with your white. Flat projects, you can get really nice lines. But something like this, it's just hard to get the lines. Now I'm going to guesstimate at what size that should be under there. I went over a little bit, but I will cover that with some white once it's dry. Then it'll be fine. And go around the foot. So maybe I'll leave this black and white And then use the pink on the handle, on the feet. And then put, like some roses or something on it. Once the tape is off, I'll go down and just fill in this bottom completely. That's just going to be black. Let's say I went over here and here. But when it's dry, oops, here and here. But once it's dry, I'll take the white, maybe 2 coats, and it will cover it. Now, I got this little guy up here, and you know what? I think I'm going to do him black too. Just a solid black. And remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe. I got a couple videos up today. I'll be getting these up today or first thing tomorrow morning, depending on dry time. Okay. Now I have to decide. I don't know. Should I do circles? Should I do it solid black? Should I do this black and leave that white? These are the decisions I hate. I don't know. I really don't know. All right, well, let's take this off and see how it's looking, and then we'll go from there. Let's go this way. So there's our base with the stripes. Now the question is, what gets painted black and what gets white? I don't know. I hate this part. I never know what to do. After you go through, let's say over here I have a little bleed that I will use some white and cover it up. Looks like the black didn't go on quite as thick there. And you're going to have those spots. Just go ahead and fill them in. Okay, now let's see how this looks. This one's a little harder to tape, so I'm hoping my guesstimates worked and that it at least looks kind of cool. Gonna have some touch-ups, I know, but that's okay. trying to only have one place to hold it so you can see. How cute is that so far? A few spots I need to touch up, not a whole lot. I'm just going to go around the bottom with the black, kind of, you know, create a circle going around. I figured, yeah, I'll use where my feet are as my guide. And I'm just going to fill this bottom up. Lost my light again. I do not know why that light keeps going on and off. And it's just a ring light. It should stay on as long as I need it. That's why I bought it. It's supposed to be the one to get. Now maybe there's a new one to get. I don't know. They sure are more sophisticated than when I got this. Because this is just a single light and a place to hold the phone, and that's it. Now they have multiple phone holders in multiple directions, and a light here and here and here. So maybe it's time I look into that. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to let these both dry really well, and then I will get back on and we will do part 2, which will be adding the next color and adding, I'm either going to decoupage something on them or I'm going to use a furniture transfer. Not sure which yet, but one of the two, and then they'll have to be sealed. But that's the beginning of this project. I love the stripes. They're fun. I love working with them. All right, well, have a good day, and I will be back later on to finish. Thanks. Bye.